17 months ago, and you'll see why I know it's been 17 months, we're not allowed to smoke cigarettes at my sister's house. We go out on the porch. So I'm out on the porch, and my little adorable niece, 6-year-old Allison, came out. She said, Uncle Mick, I want to make a deal with you. If you quit smoking, I'll quit lying. And it touched me, and it's been 17 months since I've had a cigarette. Well, that's what I tell her. Little sore throat. This is the 4th show of the last 2 days, and the allergies in Vegas. I mistakenly used NyQuil to soothe the throat. NyQuil. Let me say this about NyQuil. There should be a worm at the bottom of that bottle. And the NyQuil people know it comes with a shot glass. And it says 1 every 4 hours. I didn't have my reading glasses. I saw the 4. I popped 4 down. Boom, boom, boom. Went outside and waxed my Mini Cooper with a cheeseburger. And I don't have a Mini Cooper. Hey, the Honda Element, I want to talk about that car, and we all know it. We all know it because we all designed it when we were in kindergarten. I mean, that doesn't just kind of look like the first car we ever drew. That looks so much like the kindergarten car I see when approaching on the road. I expect a stick man to be driving it. Women say men don't listen.
They don't.
Over and over, they don't. We only hear what we need to. Example, I talked a girlfriend into a menage a trois, and under her breath she mumbled, well, why don't we just throw in some bondage too? I heard that. That I heard, and I said, oh yeah! And then she tied me up and slept with 2 of my friends. I've never had luck with women. I was married once to a woman of means, and I'm not making this shit up. In 2002, I married a woman of means. 1 year, 7 months separation. Anyway, she divorced me because she said I was after her money. Or some shit like that. It was hard to hear. I was in the bathroom going through her purse. The divorce was real simple. She kept what she got from me. Herpes. You're moaning herpes? Come on. It's a cold sore, and there's medication. Hey, what's the medication for herpes? What's it?
Valtrex.
Stay away from him. She's wanted anything to do with that one. I threw it out there, but one over there went. Hey, wait. You blow in a dog's face. The dog does not like that. But you take him for a ride in the car, he'll stick his head out the fucking window. What the hell? And someone said, well, it might be your breath. And I said, I really don't think so, because we all know what a dog does when it meets another dog. I think here's the answer. The dog's a very confused animal, you know? He never knows when you say come if it's gonna get a bone or a fucking beating, you know? The dog never knows. How about this? Friend or a stranger enters your house, your dog starts with barking. You usually say, shut up. And sometimes you have to really get on him, shut up. Then your house gets robbed. Who gets blamed for not barking? And then we yell, why didn't you fucking bark? If you have a poodle, he might go, I did bark, it's just he didn't take me seriously. A black Labrador would just go, the dude was not after none of my shit. A St. Bernard would raise that big fucking noggin with a paw over his head and go, I was passed out. Mothers believe their boys are good boys, and it's the other kids that are corrupt. Yes, moms? Yep. You betcha. Dads know better, but mothers believe their boys are good boys, and it's in high school my mom thought all my friends were taking drugs. And they were. I was selling them to them. And I'm not saying mothers favor their boys. You love them as much as your girls, but you cut them slack in this area, discipline, because dad handles it. Sometimes to the point where you get in arguments over it. Mothers will allow their boys to sass back, because moms will say shit like, do you want your face slapped? And eventually we know nothing's going to happen, and we finally go, do you? That shit doesn't fly with dad. I found out when dad says, Just who do you think you're talking to? I found out Little Bo Peep is not the right answer. And I don't know what the lighting's like, but you see this big fucking canyon right here? That was one of those. Mothers, you had about 4 or 5 things that you all said, and I came up with, I thought, with some pretty good comebacks, and I'll tell you. Mothers, we'll call them momisms. How many times do I have to tell you, kids? Well, apparently more than you already have. Running in the house, leaving the door wide open. Were you born in a barn? Weren't you there? This one you almost meant. This one you used your finger like you almost meant it. What did I just tell you? I don't know. Weren't you listening either? And your mothers, when you had it up to here, this was the last straw. This was it. I brought you into this world.
I will take you out.
And I can take you out. I actually said, as long as I don't have to go the same way I came. You can't hit your kids today when you just can't hit them, man. They'll call the cops. What the
On this day.
Can you imagine back in the day going, if I even looked at the phone when my dad was taking the belt off, he would go, what? You want to call someone? The police? To rat me out. Okay, hold on. Everybody in the house, come on in. We're all going to watch Mick dial the phone with it up his ass. Today when they act up, we're supposed to make them sit down. You sit down, it's time out. Time out. We had time out too, but our time out worked. Why? Because it was a little bit different. Our time out was the actual time that you were fucking out. You could miss your favorite show on TV that was 2 days away. How do you wipe a smirk off your child's face with timeout? The smirk is not a voluntary, facial expression. Something triggered it. Something that you should not be laughing at. And once it's there, I don't care if it's your coach, your dad, your boss, you can't get it off. Holiday meal, everybody's around the table at the Lazinski house, and something got spilled and going towards Grandma. She leaned back, lost her balance. She did not get hurt. She fell on like a cushion, but she let one go as she fell, almost making her chair fall faster. That didn't put the smirk on my face. This grandpa sitting next to her without missing a beat says, I can name that tune. So now I've got the smirk on my face and my dad says, get it off or I'm going to wipe it off for you. I actually said, well, I think you should wipe Grandma first. Hey, that's it for me. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much. Best club in the country.